Good morning, Phil. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Great to see you.
You too. Thank you so much for letting me interview you about your new album, Beyond All Possibilities.
Well, thanks.
So let's get a little bit of background on you first. What was your inspiration for picking up a guitar?
Well, my first inspiration, well, actually, I'll have to say the Beatles. You know, they inspired me a lot. And then in high school, I was in the rock and roll band, garage band, and it all started from there.
This is your fourth CD. It's called Beyond All Possibilities. What is the background inspiration of it? Is it love? Is it the theme of love? Is it women? It's a very good CD about the background of love, in my opinion. Tell me more about that.
Well, Beyond All Possibilities has to do with really going to the edge of love, going to the edge of your life, taking risks, and also realizing that you're more than you know.
So let's expand on that. These songs are about taking love to the limit or going past the limit. Tell me more about that.
Well, we have a limited view of ourselves, and you know, if we can really see ourselves in new possibilities, new light, we'll take new actions, and we'll experience new things with our human experience.
So is there anything you can tell us via your personal experience that ties into this?
Yeah, actually, a lot of things have happened in my life. You know, doing this album was way beyond my thought, my context of making an album, because I wanted to include different instruments that I'd never had included in an album before.
And what instruments are you playing besides the guitar?
There's piano in there. There's some keyboards like organs. There's drums. There's all kinds of things that I have in there. And I've had drums before, but I've also put a little bit more on electronica side in there on a couple of songs. So.
Now, I want to talk more about the lyrics of your songs. Lyrics, usually when they're written, come from somewhere, whether it's deep down the emotional side, just things that you've gone through in the past. Is there anything in particular you can remember that spurred on one of your songs?
Yeah, the lyrics came as an inspiration. Always when I write a song, I get songs that run through me. You know, I listen. And it's kind of like having a muse. And you take a look around you and see what's going on in yourself personally, and you can take a look around and see what's going on with people and what's going on with the world. And what message I wanted to give in this album was, in the writing of those lyrics, was if you listen to this, you might discover something new about yourself. You might discover new about what's going on in the world and your relationships. Beyond All Possibilities is about people experiencing new contexts for themselves, new experiences for themselves, far beyond that they normally experience in day-to-day life. So I wanted people to experience that in the songs, in the words, in the lyrics, whether you be a man or a woman. And also there's a couple in there about relationships, so that's the other thing that I wanted to include in that as well. Expand in your relationships, intimate relationships, and also your friendships and your relationships with your community.
Which song on the CD stands out for you the most?
I would have to say This Is Good Night. It's actually a lullaby. It's the last song that I did on the album, and it's just me and the piano. And I love it. It's just so simple, and it's a short song, and it's sweet, you know, so I just love it. I love
This is good night. Let's let go of all those shoes. Let's sail up to dreamland. I'll see you on the other side. This is good night. Let's just enjoy the ride. This is good night, my love. This is good night. This is good night. Good night.
Oh, and then my second one would be The Joy of Love. I just love it. It's like a dance song. It's like a chant. I always wanted, when I said Beyond All Possibilities, I wanted this song to be, I've never done a chant song. And I imagine people in this field holding hands and chanting this song about the joy of love.
So when you perform live, say in front of an audience, what is the biggest pleasure you get from your audience?
I would say watching people fall in love. Kissing, holding hands. They weren't doing that before they came in. They were doing it while I'm performing. People and friends and families seem to be closer together. That to me is what impacts me. If I'm getting the job done, that's happening in my audience. And that to me is what makes the difference. I'm filling that room with love.
Has there been any people that you've seen come in and they kind of don't know each other and then they are together by the time that they leave? Have you ever witnessed that?
Yes, actually, as far as like romantically,
yeah.
I have seen that occasionally, but mostly I see people who have never met each other have a good time with each other. They start talking to each other and they've never, and you see them just come together and start laughing and people dance. That to me is the ultimate, when people dance to my music.
Good. With the release of Beyond All Possibilities, I want to talk a little bit about your previous CDs. You have Chinook, Loveland, and Connection. Out of the 4 of them, which one is closest to your heart?
Oh, wow. That's really hard. That's like saying which one of your kids you love the most.
But there's probably something about each album, just like you would say about your children, that really resonates with you.
Okay, well, I'm just going to give one word for each album. So Loveland is really an opening to love. Okay. Connection is really about connection. Connecting with other human beings and connecting with nature. And then this album, Beyond All Possibilities, is really stretching yourself out as a human being, getting new experiences in life and the world around you. But I forgot my first album. My first album was Chinook. That one I did in 1978. So that for me is like the birth of my recording. That was like, wow, I did it.
So tell me, what's the difference between recording a CD right now versus recording an album back in 1978?
Well, for one thing, I don't have to go to a recording studio. I recorded my first album in a multi-million-dollar recording studio in Eastern Washington. And you have to do it on vinyl, which was really cool then. But now, I do everything digital. And I do it all on my computer at home. And I have my recording at home. So it's all done there. And then I just upload versus selling albums or hard product. I now just have a download card. People can just download it up to their computer.
So what is the website they can go to download?
The website they can go to is www.cdbaby.com. Or they can do a search for me on iTunes, or they can search for me on Amazon.com.
And how do they get your CD? From Amazon?
Either one, all 3 of them have my CDs on. They can download on all 3.
If they just wanted a hard copy of your CD.
Oh, they can't get hard copies of the CDs.
Okay, so it's only digital.
They're only downloads now.
All right.
Yeah, all electronically, all digitally. Because that's the age we're living.
Yeah, absolutely it is. All right, so is there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I really want people to know that this album is another adventure for me. It's always a discovery to create a new album. And I already got in mind another album that's going to be completely different than this one. And that's what I hopefully do with each album. I build on a whole different album, different take. And it'll be surprising. I've already got some really great ideas for the next one.
Great. Well, that's great to hear. So where can your audience find you live?
Well, currently I'm every Saturday at the Grizzly Republic Wine Bar in Paso Robles, and also the last Sunday of every month at Stack's Wine Bar in Long Bay.
Great. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, Phil. Good luck with this CD. Hope it does well for you, and can't wait to hear your next one coming out.
Great. Thanks for coming out.
Dance to the rhythm in your heart. Every day is a new day, a chance to start. The joy of love, the joy of love.